stuck to the plan. Always said that we would stand up, never ran. We the fam and loyalty never change up. Been down since day one, look at where we came from. Jumping out on anybody who try to say something. One thing about it, got a problem, I got the same one. Money rolls, we fold. Plenty clubs, we close. Follow the same code. Never turn our backs, our cars don't even lose control. Shot, everything rides on.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode number 18 of the Associated Wrestling Press's College Wrestling Review. I'll be your host, Eric Olenowski, and once again joined by Court Lair, former college wrestler. Court, thank you for being on. This is your third time, if I'm not mistaken?
Third time, Eric. Thanks for having me back. It's been
no problem. Yeah, let's pretty exciting week of college wrestling that we had last weekend. The big duel, I would say that where we could start, there was a couple big duels. Let's start with the Oklahoma State versus Iowa State. Iowa State coming off a big win against Virginia Tech, put them in the top 10, top 8 of the country. So let's jump right into it. Before we jump into it, one thing that I want to talk about is at 165, Derringer, returning NCAA champion, versus Mike Moreno.
Dude,
go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead.
No, if I was to ask you before this match was to happen, what would you say? What would you say final score would be?
4 points. I would say Derringer has a takedown, maybe an extra escape on him plus riding time. So I'd say 4 points. He may ride him out. I don't know. He's tough on top. He's tough everywhere. So
Derringer's ranked number 1. Moreno's ranked number 4. 13-3. That is impressive. And the one reason I wanted to talk about this duel is to ask you specifically. We can forget. We'll go over the Tanner Weatherman loss in a little bit, but Derringer. There's a couple of people that I think might be able to stick with him. Bo Jordan, Isaac Jordan. Anybody else, do you think Taylor Walsh?
No, I don't. After watching Walsh, I watched him get teched by Pierce Harder the other day. So I'm wondering, I think that's a battle for fourth and below, but I think the top 3. In no specific order. Actually, I'm going to take Derringer as the champ, and then the Jordan cousins at 2 and 3. Right now, I think it's a battle for 4th through 8th. And then 2nd and 3rd are just a toss up of the. So,
yeah.
But Derringer's just walking away with it. He's in positions, and obviously he's just making them moving up a weight class and getting to eat a little more. So it's nice. It's nice to see that, but he's unreal. So.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. And I was talking to somebody at the Michigan State duel this weekend, and he doesn't look like – I mean, if he's walking around, you would say, he's a 49, 57-pounder. He might be 65, but he doesn't look like anything that will blow your mind. Like, when you see Timmy McCall, you say, like, he's a jack dude. Like, he definitely could be strong. Derringer is just one of those individuals that, he must have freak strength with great technique and great position on everything, because he just goes out there and he's been tearing people up this year.
Yeah, he's a for sure.
So we slightly touched on 174. Crutchmer knocking off Tanner Weatherman 7-4. This was unexpected, and I don't think Kevin Jackson was happy about this. What do you think?
No, I mean Weatherman's been hot. He has some big wins this year. He's a freaky long type dude. He has some good skill, good attacks, good on top. That's a weird upset. That kind of that's the swing match of the duel. You see 20-15. Weatherman wins that match. That flips it to 18-17. All right, and that's a ranked guy going down, a top 10 guy in the country. I know he's number 10, but he's tough. He's only a sophomore, and it's kind of disappointing for Iowa State and Kevin Jackson. They win that duel. I mean, in the team, but dual meet, they're solid as anybody. And yeah, I just think when you got a top 10 guy going down, but that's what Oklahoma State brings to the table. They can beat you on any day. So
right, and if that
pretty
if that match switches, Weatherman ends up winning. You have Iowa State winning the duel, and then that just goes back to show you that what Iowa did to Iowa State in Carver Hawkeye earlier this season. I mean, it's scary, and not to mention Iowa and Minnesota wrestle Friday night, so that's going to be an exciting one. Everything else for this duel was, as expected, so not much more to touch on that. Let's move to a match that I was really looking forward to, and that was Cornell and Lehigh.
Yeah.
And go ahead, sorry.
Definitely great duel. I cut you off. I saw some matchups in here. I was kind of excited about some rivalries, some bad blood. So yeah, we can talk about that. But there's a few matchups, but some bad blood from what I heard. Working out with some Cornell guys, and there's one guy, the 165 for Lehigh, Marshall Peppelman, graduates, transfers. That always makes for an entertaining match. So.
Yeah, so explain that to me. So he has a twin, right? Walter?
Well, Walter's his older brother. Marshall's the young one.
Okay.
And Marshall, if I'm not mistaken, Walter was the older one. All right. He went to Penn and then
Harvard.
Harvard. You're right. Yes, I was thinking, all those smart schools, they had one together. All right. But no. So Marshall went to Cornell for 4 years. He never broke the lineup. Maybe once in a while here or there. I think he wrestled 1 year and was pretty beat up. Don't even think he made the tournament. Last year in the NCAA, you can choose to graduate. If you graduate from the school, you get free transfer, right? Automatic release. So he at first, I heard he had one of mine. There one two others, but he ended up at Lehigh. He's from that area, so he's wrestling against his former school, and he has to take on Blasio, who took his spot last year as a freshman.
Wow, so he's coming into this match really wanting to win one for his team.
Yeah, kind of a rivalry. So
yeah, Palacios ranked number 11 in the country, so you expect him to get this. And I remember the Peppelman twins or brothers, whatever they are. Either way, they're related. I remember the Powerade tournament in Pennsylvania. I don't remember the school. I'm blanking on it right now, but Colin Johnston went there. He was pretty tough. I remember them winning back-to-back Powerade titles. One of the matches highlight of the duel would have to be the Gabe Dean and Nate Brown.
I'm impressed with Gabe. He's always moving forward. He's always pushing the action, and good things happen to guys that push the action. He had 2 takedowns at the end of that were kind of waved off. He scrambled well, but he just kept going. They were going in overtime, and you see Brown has his hands on his knees, and Dean's ready to go. He ends up taking him down and went to video review, and I thought it was 2, and if it wasn't 2, it was definitely fleeing the mat. So I figured he deserved the match no matter what. But he pushes the pace. I mean, Gabe is just so hard to beat. And listening to his interview after, he's just talking about how he's kind of refocused after a big freshman year. Everyone has the hype on him. Vegas, he loses 2 matches. He's refocused. He looks great. I mean, the weight cut, his weight's probably back down. He looks huge. Just tough to beat. And you can definitely tell where he's kind of coming into his own after that scuffle win, and now he's won, 6 matches in a row since then, 6 or 7. So now he's just ready to go. And I just don't see many people beating him.
Weird part about this, look at that. Little breakdown on Gabe Dean that I was doing earlier today. This would be a great point in the podcast right now to let you guys know that I will be hosting another podcast on the Associated Wrestling Press. It's going to be called The Second Caution, and our first guest tonight will be Gabe Dean. So it's funny that you say, all that stuff. I'm excited the way he's wrestling. I think he's putting stuff together, and that reshot that he had off of Brown's shot in overtime was just, it was textbook. He and I don't even know if he thought he had the takedown. I didn't think he had the takedown. With the new reaction rules, yes. Would I have given it? No.
The Jordan Oliver rule again. So we keep talking about that. We've talked about that 3 or 4 times this year. And I think he deserved the takedown. That was a beautiful reshot. But I'm a little biased to the offensive guy and the fact that he's a Michigan boy. We got to support those guys from Lowell, Michigan. And I like watching Dean wrestle. He's a scrapper, so that's a good system.
Yeah. Jace Bennett of Cornell knocks off Elliot Riddick. Bennett's ranked 14th. Riddick is 11th, 12th, 13th, depending on what rankings in OT. So that's a ranked matchup. But other than that, everyone who you would expect, Nishan Garrett, Mason Beckman, Randy Cruz, Villalonga, Relbuto, Palacio. 74 was Pickett and Martinez, so nothing there. But Cornell ends up winning the duel 21-9. That's it for that duel. I don't want to keep you too much longer, but I just want to jump right over really fast to the Indiana and University of Michigan duel. The match for this duel would be number 7 Taylor Walsh versus number 10 Taylor Massa.
Taylor's gone through some barn burners the past week. He's wrestled Bo Jordan, Isaac Jordan, and now Walsh. That's 3 guys in the top 10. Not too many people are doing that. I know everyone, Taylor's off. Taylor's going to show up. I don't know when Taylor's going to show up, but come Big Tens, he's going to beat some of these guys.
The thing with him is I wish he gets his offense going. That's all he needs to do. He has shots, but he goes to that front headlock all the time. I think it's going to get him. If he's going to try and stick to that front headlock, it's going to get him in trouble. He needs...
definitely. Keep going.
He does a great job riding. He can get off bottom. He just can't get a takedown, and that's what's getting to him right now. Is he doesn't have enough to get that one takedown, that crucial takedown when you need in crunch time. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I was talking to another guy who has broken down college wrestling with you, and that's Grant Akey. And we said ever since Taylor was in high school, he's always been big and strong. Well, college is an even playing field. Everyone's kind of big and strong and physically mature now. You're dealing with guys who are 21 and 22 who are men rather than high schoolers. And the one thing Taylor's always been able to do is bully people. And nothing against Taylor. He's a great wrestler. You know, Taylor would work anybody. But if he got his offense going, he is so dangerous in the top position and off bottom. Nobody can ride him. The only person who's proven he can ride him is Bo, and Bo can ride anybody. But, I just think Taylor's going to come along. I have complete faith in him. He's a good friend, and I just think, man, come Big Tens, he's going to knock somebody off. In that weight class, 165 in the Big Ten, toughest weight class in the country. You can't see a league that's that tough. And there's returning All-Americans who have redshirted. He's around a 12 guy. You never know what's going to happen. But I will take Taylor Mass at the Big Tens to knock off one of those guys he has lost to. I'm not saying it's going to be Isaac, but Bo, maybe Walsh. I could see those matches are close and winnable. Isaac Jordan's just on another level right now. So,
all right, awesome. Well, I just totally lost train of whatever you were saying, and I was just watching your mouth because I was listening to what you were saying, but your mouth didn't match what you were saying. So I was trying to listen to when it's gonna mash back up, and it finally did at the end. When you said Bo, I was like, okay, he's back.
Yeah, yes, I'm back. All right, I'm gonna have to get the internet connection at Greenlawn, the Greenlawn address fixed. I don't know what's going on. But we'll see,
don't go anywhere else with the address. Leave it there. Anything else you want to touch on? Yes. Actually, Michigan ends up winning that duel 34-6. You got Cornell beating Lehigh 21-9, and Iowa State beating Oklahoma State 20-15. Anything else you want to touch on before we let you go?
No, definitely not. It's getting to that time of the year where wrestling gets exciting and ready for some duels coming up.
Yes,
ready
sir.
to be back on the show. And so
all
thanks
right.
for having me on, and I'll catch you soon. Eric.
All right,
Thanks.
sounds good. That's been it for episode number 18 of the Associated Wrestling Press's College Wrestling Review. Make sure you go on and check out our weekly rankings that are updated by JJ Johnson. And if you have any questions, you can send me an email at collegewrestlingreview@gmail.com, and I'll get back to you. That's been it. Thank you for listening.